It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the latest live weekly event from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. This week we are blessed with the V12 Vision. Quite rightly so. Who doesn't love a rumbling V12? This week we're showcasing the best 12-cylinder engines in TDU. Enter to win a special reward, and you're not going to believe it, guys. It's a sticker. Let's take a look what we've got in store this week. We will start things off over on Ibiza, where we've only got one solitary race, the 12th wave, a 5-mile 2-lap clear circuit race, 40% asphalt, 60% gravel, in the G65 AMG Mercedes G-Wagon of course, and the V12 Audi Q7 TDI. So largely we're going to have an off-road race there with no cap for RP. And this is our only race on Ibiza this week. Now of course in a V12 it would only be right for me to be in the Aston Martin Vulcan. Yeah, I hope you're not sick of Aston Martins, guys, because we're getting more, which I don't think is a bad thing. But yeah, 7-litre naturally aspirated V12 Aston Martin Vulcan. It sounds ridiculous in this game as an Audi TT just decides to stop in the middle of a junction. So yes, I'm going to be in Aston Martin Vulcan for most of today. I've got a feeling it won't be the only Aston Martin that we're going to see in today's video, but we'll kick things off. We will do the 12th wave race, and then we'll head on over to Hong Kong Island and see what is in store over there. Now, as many people will know already, I do not own a G65, I don't own a G-Wagon, for many reasons. I of course have got the Q7 V12 TDI with my very tasteful livery. I do like the livery I've built for this one. So yes, quite happy to be in the Q7 for this race. We're just going to have to clear these G-Wagons first of all into the first turn here. It is a bit of a hairpin. Oh, wasn't the best of efforts from myself for that one, but I really just wanted to clear the G-Wagons nice and early, get around this first little off-road section that we've got here, and have a clear run for the rest of the race. Now for this race in particular, it's a mix of asphalt and gravel. For that I have decided to go with the road tyres opposed to off-road tyres. I just think the time we can make up once again on the road sections may be greater than what we will save on the off-road sections with the off-road tyres. It's a 4-wheel drive. It's still going to be more than capable in my opinion with the road tyres on the off-road sections. I may be wrong, we may learn that when it comes to Monday's stream, and we kind of go over all of these races again with the community. If you guys want to join in, as always, you're more than welcome to. First come, first served, so long as you're a PC player and you're on the EU server, because we're region locked and we're platform locked. You're welcome to join in on Monday's stream, but nonetheless, we're here for the first set of races that we have got. With it also being, oh, I'm going to miss this checkpoint, that's not ideal. We'll just do a quick 360, claim the checkpoint. Ah, that wasn't ideal. What was I going to say there? I've got no idea. I've put myself off by not claiming that checkpoint, turning in a little bit too early. But nonetheless, we have managed to claim it, and this looks like we're going to be diving down the tunnels. It is indeed down the tunnels, just managing to keep that one safe and secure coming down through them, trying not to collect any of these walls as we did on the stream just recently, smashing off all of the walls. But so far we're doing alright, and as we can see the time made up through these tunnels, oh, tapping that wall, the time made up through these tunnels with the road tyres I think is going to be quite good. We'll find out on Monday when we come back around to do these races again. We'll test it with the road tyres, we'll test it with the off-road tyres, and we'll see which is quicker overall. So far it's quite a decent quick lap that we've had for the start of the race. We can sit on either side of the road there as well, which is handy to know. Ooh, locking up the brakes, not ideal, but we are right the way back round to the start-finish line, lap 1. Where it wasn't clean and it wasn't tidy, we've already got 40-second lead over the rest of the pack. So this race itself isn't going to be a difficult one. We're making it harder than it really needs to be, just with the poor level of driving so far for this weekly event. But nonetheless, we are in first place. At the end of the day, that's all that matters for completing out this live weekly event, which I assume is going to be just 50 points. I would be confused if it was any more than 50 points. I genuinely don't know this one yet. With this being a reward of a sticker for the live weekly event, what we have seen as of late is a solitary reward of a sticker. We should expect nothing more than 50 points required to complete the live weekly event, essentially 5 race wins. That seems to be the trend when the reward is, of course, a sticker. When we see something a little bit more, then we tend to require more points for the event. So yes, the requirement, the expectation is going to be 50 points, 5 race wins. Make a little bit of a better attempt this time out, actually catching the checkpoint, not having to do a 360 around there. There's definitely time to be made up on this race. It's not a quick effort, but it's a benchmark. It's a benchmark time for myself to come back and improve. Far too leery coming into the tunnels this time out. Yeah, it's not a good effort, guys, but it means I can come back and improve. Blue Sky World, we will be doing that on Monday's stream. I don't think I've plugged that as much as Test Drive Unplugged, the most recent dev documentary, but yes, there will be a stream on Monday all around Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, where we race community full, just like we did on Monday there, 8-man lobbies, racing all of the live weekly events. Plug, like it's the dev documentary, guys. Make sure you're here for Monday's stream. Tongue in cheek, eh? Back to the race itself. We're actually almost finished the race itself. It's a decent one. Plenty of time to be made up on that one. And as expected, it is indeed 50 points to complete out this week's live weekly event. 5 race wins, guys, and you will of course achieve your sticker, but more importantly, you'll complete off another weekly event set of races. Let's head on over to Hong Kong Island and we'll take a look at the map and see what races we've got in store over there. So on the Hong Kong Island map, up to the top left, we've got 3 races bunched up together here. First of all, Journey to the 12th Realm, a 6.4 mile 2-lap circuit race. It's dry, it's on asphalt with a max RP of 800. And here we go, the first of it, the Aston Martin DB11, the Bentley GT Continental, a nice grand tourer race there to kick things off. That may be quite an interesting one. The chances are the GT Continental will be OP with its fantastic 4-wheel drive. Next off, we've got Combustion Mastery, a 7.4 mile clear dawn asphalt sprint race. Minimum RP is 950. In a hypercar, a lack of restrictions there, so if you love your hypercar racing, here we go. We've got some options for that one. Next off, we head to Crankshaft Symphony. What fantastic names these races have got this week. The Crankshaft Symphony, a 4.9 mile domination race, clear dawn on asphalt, max RP of 1000, and you must be in a Maserati, a Lamborghini, or a Ferrari. Once again, nice and wide open. I like it once again. And then lastly, we'll head down here to the 12th Element, a 6.7 mile sprint race. It's foggy on asphalt. And this time out, we will either be in the Aston Martin Vulcan or the Ferrari FXXK Evo, a car I do wish I owned in game. But fortunately, as we know, we've got that Aston Martin Vulcan, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. And we'll head on over first off and tackle the Aston Martin Vulcan versus the Ferrari FXXK Evo race here on Hong Kong Island. Should be a good race, a little bit sceptical with the foggy weather conditions, but I might just go for it and treat it as a dry race in the Vulcan. Coming into the race, I was thinking I would have a lot of options here for what I could do to the car, tunes, upgrades, tyres, things like that. And I forgot this car is completely standard, has no tune built, and I have not bought a single component for the vehicle. I only have the standard road tyres, so it's going to be a full commit on the standard road tyres for this race. And it looks to be a good thing for the most part, because this is a very wet race, hence why I was so sceptical coming into this one. Typically when I see foggy weather conditions with the adage of a nighttime race, why is the AI braking there? Foggy weather conditions with the adage of a nighttime race, it's going to be a wet one. So yes, we were quite right to be sceptical coming into this one. With a standard Vulcan, I'm going to assume I won't have too many issues, as the AI are pretty useless. More than I in these weather conditions, a bit heavy into that corner, but we managed just to keep things between the white lines. I thought we were going to be pushing very wide as the back end of the Vulcan does step out at me just a little bit too much there. It's going to be a challenge, this one, but with a standard Vulcan. Oh, it's a race I wanted to be a part of. Well, just listen to the noise, especially when we're making our way through the pack. All of those V12s screaming away. I kind of wish I have that FXXK Evo as well. I've only used it on the delivery missions over on Ibiza, and my god, it just sounds exactly what you want a Ferrari to sound like. Granted, it has also got the hybrid boost as well with it, but it's a fantastic sounding and looking cars. I came in way too heavy for that one, just tapping the railings, not ideal. But yeah, FXXK Evo, I think it's going to be one of the cars on the list that I want to purchase for Season 4, along with some of the new cars, but that FXXK just looks and sounds insane, much like the Aston Martin Vulcan. And this is from a guy that doesn't typically like these kind of cars. So yeah, there we go. What more can we say about that one? 50% through this race already. As we can see, yeah, standard car. It's no real issue against the AI, with the expectation that the AI are pretty useless, racing in the wet for whatever reason. 7.5 second lead, and we've not been overly quick. It's not going to be a problem at all making our way through this race right here. Just going to back off, coming into these corners. Don't trust the car overly, especially up with the back end and not having a tune on this one, and the wet weather conditions. I don't trust it all too much for the back end not to step out. Onto a bit of a freeway section. Now we can really open up the Vulcan. We can see what it has got to offer. Unfortunately, we've got a bend coming up here. I don't know how many times I've actually took this to the fullest extent of its capabilities. I know I've not raced it before. This is the first race in the Vulcan. I tend only to use this when we're cruising. So yeah, it's actually quite nice to be in this car and driving it in a little bit of aggression, but it does need a little bit of upgrade. I can tell already it does need a little bit of work, but a nice race there. One I'm definitely coming back to do a few more times is that race just there. So in what was a very nice little race there to kick things off on Hong Kong Island, one for sure I will be coming back to. Another plug on Monday's stream where we race together with the community, guys. Make sure you're there for that one. So what we'll do now is head up to the top left of the map. We'll leave that British dealership, just a quick route over to the top of the map, and we'll take on the last 3 races that we've got here. They're all fairly close together, and yeah, we'll see what we've got to round out things here on Hong Kong Island, kicking things off with the Crankshaft Symphony. Ferrari, Lamborghini or Maserati with a max PR of 1000, 4.9 mile domination. This one should be a nice clean clear race to get on with. And my chosen weapon of choice for this race, because it feels like it's been a while since I've used the car, is my Lamborghini Huracan Performante without my livery, because for some reason it still doesn't work in the game properly. So I've chose the Huracan for this one. Wide variety of choices when you actually look through the list of the Lamborghini, Ferrari and Maseratis that are available. We've obviously got a good roster at this point, but yeah, it just feels like it's been a little while since I managed to use my Huracan. And looking at this sprint race that we've got here, it feels like we've never actually done this one all too long ago, as we get dive bombed from that Centenario. It feels like we've done this sprint race not too long ago in a live weekly event, which isn't a bad thing because it is actually a very good sprint race overall. Oh, just managed to stop in time for that one. And being in the Huracan, obviously a largely predictable car, is not a bad thing. I know what to expect. I know where I can put the power down, where I've got to lift, how late I can brake, how I can work the gearbox rather than use the brakes. I love this car. I still think it's probably one of the best cars in the game. Yeah, it's good. If you've not used the Huracan, I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people chose to go with the Aventador over the Huracan. My personal preference was, of course, going to be this car. It just seems to be ridiculously overpowered in terms of the capabilities a small Huracan has. But nonetheless, the race itself, obviously being a domination race, it is in fact. We have checked out most... Oh dear, bit heavy into that one. Checked out most of these early checkpoints in first place, so yeah, maximum points on the board so far. 50% of the way through the race it is now. And again, not much competition from the AI overall on max difficulty. I don't think many people are going to have much trouble this week completing all 5 races to get all 50 points nice and quickly to complete the live weekly event. But again, this one here is just screaming out to have a fantastic live race when we get some more people into this one. Especially with the competition that we're going to have with a lot of people with, let's just say, Ferraris only, or Lamborghini only, or even Maserati only. We're going to have some good races on this one, I feel. I already know how I'm going to build it out for Monday's stream on this race in particular. But there we go. A nice quick race, a nice easy race there. Won in the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, guys. Post your times in the comment section down below. It would be good to know where you guys did place on some of these races, so let me know the title of the race, or the name of the race rather, and the time you managed to achieve and in which car. It'd be good to know, because obviously we don't get to see every leaderboard. With myself being on Steam EU server, I don't get to see what you guys are doing, let's just say, on PC and the NA servers or PS5 on an EU server. So let me know what kind of time you guys are achieving in some of these races. Maybe I'm missing a trick with a specific car. It would always be good to hear back from you guys, but nonetheless, we'll push forward to the 4th race for today's live weekly event, and I'm on the wrong road. We're going to have to go all the way up to the end here and come back in ourselves. What a liberty when you're driving an Aston Martin Vulcan, right? I'm not making a good job of it at all. The race is just up here though, it's not a problem. I don't even remember what this race is. Is this the hypercar race? I think this will be the hypercar race. Yes it is. 950 RP maximum in a hypercar. 7.4 mile sprint. It's going to be a clear one again. Let's see what this one's all about. And in interesting fashion, on a week for V12s, we're going to use a W12 Bugatti. I don't know what they've done with this one. It's a V12 week and we're using Bugatti Veyron. Yeah, it is what it is. Genuinely perplexed with the car lineup that we've got for this race, but hey ho. We'll see what this race is about. It should be a very quick race and probably a challenging one because, as I've mentioned a few times, I don't enjoy driving hypercars in this game. So it's going to be a challenge for me to really get a good time set on this leaderboard. I have got a fully maxed out Bugatti Veyron, I have got slick tyres fitted, so there's no excuse other than a poor level of driving capability with hypercars. I don't know why guys, I just don't enjoy them. But nonetheless, we'll give it our best shot for our first attempt here with the hypercar V12 race in a Bugatti Veyron, and we'll see where we land. It's a big sprint. I had a quick look at the race layout before we came in. It is a big sprint race where if you've got a good handling package on your hypercar, you're probably going to set a phenomenal time there. I'm expecting to see the usual culprits, Jason, Paku, maybe Asai, Yunon, up to the very top of those leaderboards. I know Jetstream, you're very good with these hypercars as well. So yeah, I expect to see a very tough leaderboard for this race in particular, guys. Again, please let me know what kind of time you managed to set and in which car, because it would be interesting, you guys on different platforms, on different servers, you know, where you have kind of placed out on these leaderboards compared to the PC EU server. Yeah, please do let me know. Already 60% of the way through this race. I knew it was going to be a pretty quick one, especially we're in a hypercar, but just the amount of distance you can cover in such a short period of time. 230, 40, 50 miles per hour, cutting across the central reservation there. Not ideal, but we managed to save it round the left-hander. Can we hold it? Can we hold it? Yes, we can. And we'll power up through the tunnels now. It's going to be strange coming up through the tunnels with no traffic. Obviously coming here day on day for such a period of time to farm our Frim. We can get these cars up to max speed. Can we get 300 miles per hour before we hit that start finish line? You bet your bottom dollar we can. 305, there we go. Nice. And I'm too busy looking at everything else going on, I missed the start finish line. I don't think many people are going to manage to do that. Genuinely perplexed as to how I managed to miss the start finish line and fall off the freeway to round out that race. But nonetheless, we did get the win. We did get the 40th set of points in the Veyron so far. I should not be on this side of the road. I really don't want to crash my Aston Martin Vulcan. Oh dear. But yeah, we'll head round now, guys. We'll tackle the 5th and final race for this live weekly event. Just get me on the right side of the road, god damn it. Yeah, we'll tackle the fifth and final race that we've got for this week's live weekly event here on Hong Kong Island. And that race, of course, is Journey to the 12th Realm, a 2-lap circuit race dry on asphalt, max PR of 800 in the Aston Martin DB11 or the Bentley GT Continental. And I did say coming into the live weekly event this was going to be an interesting Grand Tourer race. Well, yes and no. Aston Martin DB11, I have went with it for this one. Yes, the GT Continental is going to be OP, it's going to be quicker. But just listen to the V12. It just sounds too good. How could I not be in the Aston Martin? I love this car. And we're getting more Aston Martins, so we need to get used to them, shouldn't we? I say that totally tongue-in-cheek. I genuinely am looking forward to the new Aston Martins we're going to get. The Valor looks exquisite. Even more so does the DBS Superleggera. Another V12 coming to the game, fantastic. If you guys haven't seen that leak, obviously, for the Superleggera, check out yesterday's video. Splitting opinions with that one, maybe upsetting a few, and even less fucks giving, because it's my opinion on what I expect to see coming. Nonetheless, in the DB11, struggling a little bit here, we're down on power. I have went with the slick tyres, and that is showing because when it comes to acceleration and top end, the AI are actually faster than me, and it pains me to say. The expectation though is of course going to be that the Bentley GT Continental is the OP car. Oh, we've got a little cut round here. The GT Continental will be the OP car for this race. You're probably going to set your best times in that as well. If anybody manages to top the leaderboard out in the DB11, which I'm pretty sure a few people are going to try and do, yeah, you're going to have a very, very, very good effort at that one. But the expectation is the GT Continental to top off the leaderboards. Right, let's try and screw the head down a little bit here. We're in second place as we come around that left-hander a little bit heavy. We've got one guy in front of us, Sean. Really want to try and catch Sean up here as we push forward towards lap number 2. And this is where we're going to get left behind from Sean, and we can already see the rest of the pack starting to catch up on this straight. The car's underpowered, just the way it's set up for this one. It's unfortunate, so at least if we can keep in touch and distance from Sean, I could hopefully get the win on the board here, but Stuart passing past me just there, and now April. We're going to have to try and catch him in the slow sections if I'm going to win this race off. I carried a bit too much speed. That's frustrating. Yeah, we're going to have to try and catch them here in the tight sections if we're going to win this race off, guys. Try and fully commit through some of these sections and make up time where the AI are a little bit slower, but already showing up around the first couple of corners there. It's going to be difficult to do this one. I've got a feeling I'm coming back to do this race again to round out the live weekly event. If it happens, I might just come back into it with the Bentley GT Continental and see how much faster that one truly is. Such a lack of grip coming round there with the Aston Martin. And again there, scared to go full throttle, which is annoying as I would like to fully commit to it. We have actually managed to catch back up with Sean, but I think it's too little too late for this one. Never say never though. Could we get a little bit dirty here? Tried to clip the back end of Sean to spin him around, but unfortunately it's not to be. I'm going to have to settle for second place. I'm going to have to do this race again in the Bentley GT Continental, where we should see a stark difference in performance that this one's going to have. Of course, it's going to launch off the line 10 times better than the Aston Martin managed to do. Yeah, already leaving them for dust. It's going to be so much easier in this car, but I sometimes like the challenge coming into those rear-wheel drive, into these races with a rear-wheel drive car where it's not OP. It does pose a challenge, unfortunately just a little bit too much of a challenge for me with the Aston Martin in this race. Now granted, we probably will win this race if you don't hit auto PR with the Aston Martin, go for the power upgrade rather than anything else. I did just hit auto PR for quickness whilst recording today's video, but yeah, selecting your own parts, you're probably going to have a quicker car overall. And again with the Bentley here, I have just done the auto PR. Semi-slick tyres I assume are fitted, which is obviously the max tyres, which is ridiculous. I want slick tyres on this car, I don't know why we can't have it. But yeah, Pick your own parts. You'll be able to build the quickest car possible for these races. Auto PR typically isn't the best way of doing it, as I kind of demonstrated in the DB11. Didn't even manage to win the race. Majorly disappointing. What I'll do at this point, guys, I'll fast forward to lap number 2 and we'll round out this week's live weekly event. And it was much easier this time out in the GT Continental. There's not much of a challenge from the AI overall. And then we get that last point also, so we have managed to round out this week's live weekly event for that phenomenal reward of the V12 sticker. And again, as stickers go, it's not a bad one, but it's still a sticker as a reward for grinding a live weekly event. We do need to see that one change in the future seasons and years to come for Test Drive, in my honest opinion. There we have it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this week's live weekly event. I would genuinely say it was a good one again. They're doing a very good job as of late with a lot of these live weekly events. Good races, good car selections, maybe questionable car selections with it being a V12 weekend and some non-V12s in the races. But for the most part, a good, enjoyable, fun weekly event. And just to plug it one last time, we'll be back on Monday coming for a live stream here on YouTube, 9:30 PM UK time, racing with members of the community, hoping for a full lobby again, and we will tackle all of those races and have some fun, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.